Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the What's Making Money Now show. This is your host Tim Mai, aka Dr. Do Deals. I'm excited to do this show today because we have a very special guest, Antonio Edwards. And Antonio lives in Virginia, and he's one of the most active investors out there, one of the biggest wholesalers out there. And so I'm really excited to talk to him. This show is about connecting with successful real estate investors all across the country and finding out exactly what's making money for them right now in 2012. And so here we are. Let's welcome Antonio. Antonio, say hi to everybody real quick.
Hey, how you doing today, Tim? First and foremost, I'd like to give a thanks for having me on your meeting, your Skype right now, on the video. It's an honor, man. So I definitely appreciate that.
Well, thank you. Thanks for your willingness to be on this interview and share with me and everybody. So
Okay.
thank you. Awesome. So let's start out with you sharing with everybody a little bit about yourself and how you got started.
Okay. I mean, for some people that might know me, some people who don't know me, of course. I came from the music background, Tim. I was in the music background for literally a decade, about good 10 years, and that was flowing for me pretty well. And I say around about the year of 2009 is when I left the music business and got introduced to the real estate, specifically the wholesaling niche, back in this 2009 when I had my first deal. August of 2009 was my first deal. So after I got my first deal, man, it was just like, man, it was just like a good taste of my mouth with this business. And from there, I never turned back, and I kept moving forward from there.
Now, what got you decided to get into real estate?
That's a good question, Tim. Actually, when I was doing music and I was traveling back and forth and in and out of studios, I was meeting a lot of big time people, and I was working with some big time people, and I noticed not a lot of them, but some of them that was the real, ones that was really doing well in music.
Mm-hmm.
They had some type of interest in real estate, and even I was just meeting just different people from just like movie stars and things like that. They all had the same interest in real estate, so I started, I started kind of taking heed to that. And my first book was a book my mom gave me back in, I believe, at the beginning of '08, something like that, was Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think it was '07, Rich Dad Poor Dad. And I read that book, and it just opened up a bright light in my head, man. And from there, I'm just like, man, I want to get into real estate, but I didn't know where to start. So I didn't know. I didn't really take really much action into it. I just had the idea in my head that I want to get into real estate until I had met a mentor in '09, beginning '09, and got my first deal around August, closed in August '09, and I never turned back.
Okay. So what was the official date that you got started in real estate? You said?
I would say probably the summer. I don't know the official date, but it was the summer of '09,
Okay.
June, July '09,
So it's about 2 months or so before you got your first deal, correct?
yeah, it was a few months, definitely for my first deal, $12,500. I was happy to get that check, of
Cool.
course.
So let's talk about that first deal, because I mean,
Okay.
that's one of my favorite deals to talk about. 'Cause
Right,
it's one of those very memorable moments and
right.
memorable deals. So, share with us how you found that deal, and what challenges you might have had with that.
Okay. Well, my mentor, Tim, it was kind of ironic. He was in we got a bond with each other because he was previously in the music business.
Mm.
So he saw me, doing my thing with the music thing, and he used to always tell me, he's like, "Hey, Antonio, that music business is a real risky game, and it's dangerous at the same time, you just got to watch yourself." And he was like, "Hey, I'm doing this real estate thing. Hey, you can always come on this side type thing." And I was telling him, I was like, "Hey, I read the Rich Dad Poor Dad book. I think I read Think and Grow Rich at the time, and some other motivational books. So I already had the idea that I wanted to do it. So I was like, hey, just take me under your wing, man. And that's what he did. So he told me, he said, hey, put out some bandit signs. And I didn't know what a bandit sign was back then. So, you know, he walked me through that. I ordered, I think at the time, like 100 or so bandit signs, put them out. And I mean, to be honest with you, Tim, I really wasn't taking a lot of action because I was still in and out of studios and I was traveling doing music.
Hmm.
So I did what I could, you know, back then. I thought 100 bandit signs was a lot. Think, but you know, you look at it now. I mean, it's really not a lot if that's all the marketing you have. But I thought I did something, man. And but sure enough, I mean, you know, I was a blessing. I had one good lead come out of that was 100 bandit signs, and that was the deal that I got under contract. Me and my mentor, when I was in Virginia, we went out to see the lead at the time, and it was 5 heirs, and one of the heirs was the only out of the 5 heirs that was sober. All the rest of the 4 heirs were alcoholics. They was on drugs.
Oh man.
They was living in this property with no light, no electricity, no water. It was crazy. It was just one of those properties that, you know, at the time I didn't know. I was just like, man, this is an ugly house. We need to run from this house. But you know, to him, you know, it was like, hey, this is the gold. This is a gold mine property here, and this is a good deal. So I watched him negotiate in front of the seller. You know, it was just like it was an amazing experience. You know, we got the property in the contract like that next day after we saw the property, and we got on the contract $48,000. I didn't know where to go from there. And he said, hey, Antonio, he said, I got a buyer I know to probably take this property. So he sent it out to his buyer for $60,500. He went past there, rode past there, said he wanted to see the inside. I met him the next couple of days to see the inside, and he took it on the spot. Said he'll take it for $60,500, and I signed my contract to him and made $12,500, man. It was just a blessing at the time, and you know, from there, it was like an aha moment. You know, some people have those aha moments. It was
Right.
an aha moment for me.
Right. So what was the arrangement with you and your mentor? Did you guys split the profit on that deal, or did you pay him ahead of time, or what?
Yes, we split the profit on that deal. So we split the 12.5, and I got the half of the 12.5, and he got the other half. And he walked me through my second deal was a rehab. You know, I jumped into a rehab with my second deal, so he was the mentor of that as well. And it was just a blessing for me because it was definitely it shortened the learning curve, which, you know, I'm sure your students and your members as well, you know, if they're, you know, students of you, I mean, it's definitely essential to have a mentor.
Right. Yeah.
Shortens the learning curve.
Right, exactly. You know, because like when I first got started, I was out there door knocking like 6 months on pre-foreclosure properties, and I mean, I didn't have anything to show for it, right? And then, you know, and then I did my first deal with a mentor. So like I could have shortcut a lot of that process if I had hired a mentor ahead of time, like
Right.
earlier on in my career. So I totally get what you're saying. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and so okay, so so it was like a probate situation, right? Inheritance situation.
Yes, it was. Correct.
And did you have any title issues, anything?
Absolutely. It was crazy amount of time. There was a lot of judgments involved. I think one of the heirs had some child support judgment that he didn't know about, and it took a couple months to clear. Like I said, it was, you know, early summertime, and it didn't close till August. You know,
Oh, okay.
yeah, middle of August. So it was a few months before it closed. You know, of course, the buyer said he can close in 2 weeks, but of course that didn't happen because we had title issues.
Right.
And that's why it's important to have relationships. You know, at the time I didn't, you know, see the essentialness of that, but my mentor had a relationship with his end buyer, and he stood along there for those few months until this thing closed out.
That's good.
So
That's good.
yeah,
That's awesome.
right,
Yeah, so you kind of got it, you know, like you said, you're very blessed, got it lucky, you know, had a mentor hold your hand, went through the
right,
whole thing. But hey, you took action and put out those signs. I mean, there's a
right,
lot of people that you know, their mentor said, hey, go put out some signs, and they never did it, right? So
right,
they were never able to take it to the next step. So,
right.
and so definitely congratulations for that.
Definitely
So
appreciate it.
yeah, so now let's forward a little bit here. How many deals are you currently doing a month now?
I'm doing about three to five deals average a month.
Okay.
Some good months it might be a little more than that, but yeah, about an average three to five a month right now,
And they're all
consistently.
wholesale?
All wholesale, yes,
Okay. And
yes.
then what is your average profit per deal?
Average profit per deal, Tim, is probably about 5 to 7 thousand per deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what would you say is the number of deals so your first deal that you closed on was August 2009,
hmm
right? And so now we're a little bit over over 2 years. How many
hmm
deals would you say you have done since then?
I did. I'll say I'd be conservative. I'll say I did at least 75 deals since then. Maybe a little more than that, but I'll say about a 75 to 80 deals since then.
Okay, that's good. That's pretty good. All right.
hmm
And and what would you say the deals that you have now? What would you say is the type of deals that's making you the most money right now?
Far as when you say that, are
Like
you
the
referring
type
to?
of leads
Okay, I
or
say
the type of marketing, either way.
hands down direct mail. Tim is that's probably my best form of marketing right now is direct mail, hands down.
Okay.
Out of town absentee is I target all different types in direct mail, but out of town absentee is probably the most effective for me right now.
Okay. And so what would you say is the percentage of your business percentage the deals that you do right now is the absentee owner direct mail people?
Probably about 50%.
Okay.
50% of his of that direct mail is from absentees.
Okay. And then the
Mhm.
other 50% is like other direct mail or
Correct.
or what do you do any other type of marketing besides direct mail?
Yeah, I do bandit signs. I have some people out there, some bird dogs out there driving for dollars for me. They bring me properties. Also, I have some people going to the courts, scraping probates and stuff like that. And I think the second biggest thing is word of mouth. I actually got a text message today from one of my cash buyers that doesn't wholesale. He said, "Hey, I got a hot lead in one of your cities you wholesale," and that was just word of mouth. So I'd say word of mouth is a second big thing too as well. And also I do REOs. So agents, if agents is critical, Tim. So in the REO business, so agents bring me properties as well.
Okay. Okay, cool. So um if direct mail is doing the best for you right now, what is stopping you from just scaling that up and sort of push everything else on the side?
Um, I don't know. That's a good question because I just don't want to shorten my opportunity. I mean, because I do get deals from bandit signs as well. I'm a I studied Larry Goins, some of his courses and stuff, and he always said that he rather has 10 ways to find a deal than one way to find 10 deals, and it always stuck with me since I heard that slogan from him. So I mean, if I'm using bandit signs, I always have the faith that hey, it might be a deal coming out this bandit sign. Actually, have a deal closing literally tomorrow. I'll make $6,000 on. That came off the back of my truck. I have my rebuy houses wrapped up on my truck and my phone number. And if I didn't have that on my truck, yeah, I wouldn't have got that $6,000 that's closing tomorrow. So
Got it. Okay, well,
yeah.
good. Good. Yeah, I mean, that's a great answer.
hmm
So with so let's talk more about the absentee owner. Um, Explain your process with that. Number
hmm
one, how you go about getting the list, how you go about sending it out, who
hmm
answers the calls.
hmm Okay, that's a good question as well, Tim. You can get a list from when I first started. I was using Melissa Data. I know some other people use listsource.com as well. Lately, I kind of scaled it out a little bit. We're getting our absentee owner list locally in my market from the
Oh,
MLS
oh,
because
from the
you don't have to pay. So.
so your
Yeah,
MLS actually provide that. That's cool.
Absolutely. So what I do, I pay a realtor to provide the information
Mm-hmm.
to give me that access of where she creates a spreadsheet of absentee owners that I give her the hottest zip codes and subdivisions I want, and she provides that list and sends it to me and my one of my virtual assistants, and we use that same absentee list to fish out to them with a postcard using click to mail.
Okay, and then what does your postcard say?
It's real simple. I have like a little, I'm a little different in my marketing. I have a little cartoon character, a little guy with a tie. Looks like Bart Simpson, but it's like a fake Bart Simpson. And he's like, "Hello, I like to, my name is Antonio Edwards. Yeah, I like to buy your house at 123 Main Street. I can close quick, cash, and I think it says 7 days or something like that. Give me a call, and it has our my 800 number up there, and it works.
Okay, and then when they call, does it go to a recording? Does it go to a live person?
No, it goes to a live person. I'm a big person of liveness 24/7. From 8 to 5, I have assistants picking up the phones and taking all the information and calling these prospects back. And after hours, of course, our calls are forwarded to a live answering service.
Okay. And the assistant that answers your call, is it a virtual assistant somewhere else, or is it somebody in-house?
Yes, I have virtual assistants throughout other countries that's picking up these calls and calling them back and doing tasks and stuff like that.
Okay. And then like do these assistants, these people who answering calls, they have a form, I assume, that has all the questions for them to ask and filled out?
Absolutely. Before I had my virtual assistants, right now we're using FreedomSoft. I'm sure you know what FreedomSoft is. And before that, I had a questionnaire for them. But in that sense, now we're using FreedomSoft in our business. They use the questionnaires off the FreedomSoft form, but now they know them by heart. So, but if you're starting out with an assistant and hiring them, they can use the questionnaires in FreedomSoft on the property detail page.
Okay. And then so they ask those questions, and then what happens after that?
Once they ask the questions, they implement the information. We use color codes in FreedomSoft, so I know what leads are not checked if I'm going to FreedomSoft, at the end of the course of my day. And I'll color code them back and let them know if this is a hot lead, or this is a follow-up lead, or a dead lead, or this is a lead that we outsourced to other realtors too. So we kind of like communicate through color codes and the communication log inside FreedomSoft, and it's very, very it's nice. It's pretty easy actually. And what I do, I kind of like type in the messages and in the communication log and let them know what to say to these sellers. But pretty much now, if it's a good lead, I have one of my virtual assistants. She's pretty good with talking to sellers. I have her negotiate some of our properties. And it works. So.
Okay, so who runs the comps, finding out the value? Like at what point do the leads comes to you? I guess
the point where the lead comes to me, like I said, at the end of the day, I'm going to check in I take in probably like 30 minutes, an hour at the end of my day and check in what leads came in.
Oh, so you check all the leads then?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. I check in all the leads. Well, my full-time virtual assistant, she knows if it's a straight dead lead, if she knows if it needs to be outsourced, because I outsource our over-leveraged leads, like far as equity and whatnot, to other realtors that likes those leads. So she'll directly straight up outsource those leads, but the ones that's like free and clear, which are the ones that, of course, the ones I'm targeting with absentees, free and clear ones, I'm checking those at the end of the day. And I will color code those, and she will rate those. She'll say, Antonio, these leads are rate from 1 to 10 in motivation. So all the ones that's like 7 to 10 or 6 to 10, those are ones that we're targeting as far as motivation wise.
Okay, cool. Okay, so then you look at them, and then you decide which lead to pursue, and then from there you contact the seller and negotiate. And then you meet up with the seller in person and get it under contract. Is that correct?
Yes. When I'm on the phone with the seller, that's probably when is my time that I know that is a potential hot lead, and this is our time to schedule this appointment. So I don't really get on the phone with these sellers unless they have some type of motivation that is worth my time to talk to them.
Do you give them like an offer over the phone? to make sure you're in the ballpark before you go out there?
We do sometimes, but that right there is like you kind of gotta have some type of wisdom and type of experience to know the offer on the phone, because it's that level of motivation where I go back to. If they have a motivation 9 or 10, you can probably offer it on the phone. And I had some instances like that where I had offered, my virtual assistant offered on the phone, and they took it. You just know it, because what we do, I record my conversations that my virtual assistant has on the phone, so I get to hear the tone of these people. At the end of the day, when I'm checking the lead, she attached the MP3 to the lead, and I get to see hear the motivation of these people's voice, and you can kind of hear in their voice, if they want to really get rid of it, or you can hear certain key words that they're saying that makes them at the level of motivation that you're looking for.
Got it. Okay. All right, and then so you find a deal, get it under contract, and then what's next? How do you find your buyers?
I found my buyers right when I first started. Of course, I was when I first started on my own without about when I was out on my own wings, I was just emailing to my buyers on my list. But now, I mean, I just send out a simple text message to buyers that I have relationships with. You know how it is, Tim. When you get certain relationships with buyers, you could just you kind of have that trust with each other, so you can just send a text message, and even before you kind of get on the contract, you just, hey, ride past this property and tell me what you think about it, or tell me what price you'll pay for it. So that's kind of what I do right now these days. Only time I maybe send out to my buyers list is if it's something in an area where I don't have buyers in. So
got it. So these buyers of yours, are they mostly rehabbers? Are they mostly landlords?
It's a little mixture, Tim. I have landlords, and I have rehabbers, and I have the type of buyers that I wholesale, like owner financing properties to as well, that they want to live in them. So they can't go to a bank and get a bank loan or something like that. So
okay, and it sounds like a lot of your buyers are repeat buyers, correct?
For the most part, as far as rehab and landlords, they are, yes.
Okay, got it. All right, and then okay, so what about in the beginning, right, when you first start your business? How did you go about finding your buyers and building up your buyers list?
That's a good question. What I was doing, I was going out to local real meetings. I was spreading the word that what I do. I'm a wholesaler, and any buyers is looking for some great deals. Let me know. And I've seen which exchange cards, phone numbers, information, getting my name out there. Also going out to to live rehab sites. Going out to the sites. You see a big container in a yard, 9 out of 10 times that that's a rehab. I'm out there grinding, looking for these cash buyers.
Got it.
9 out of 10 times, of course, the owners or the buyer's not going to be there. Their contractor's going to be there, but you let the contractor know, hey, I have a house for sale. Is the owner available? They might say he's not there, but I always tell them, can you call him on the spot for me? Let him know that I have a property for him that he can buy today. And it always worked for me.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
so. That's a great, definitely a great idea, and I totally agree with that.
Right.
And so let's I guess let's sort of continue that conversation, and I'll give you a challenge here. If you were to start all over again, right, and you don't have the resources you have now, you don't have the buyers, you don't have the seller leads, you're sort of like, you're a brand new investor, you're a newbie investor, but you do have the knowledge that you have now. You're just a newbie investor, and and your bills are piling up, creditors are calling you, and you gotta make money within 30 days. What would you do?
And I still have the same knowledge, but I'm a newbie investor.
Right.
I would partner with other wholesalers, Tim. I would find the hottest.
Yeah, explain that process.
Okay, what I would do, because of course you don't have no money, you don't have have a little budget, and so you're starting out. I will go out there and find the hottest wholesalers or the best wholesalers in your market, and get on their buyers list. And you know, of course, if you get on their buyers list, you're seeing all the deals that they have. And of course, you still need to go out there and find the buyers for their deals. So if they're sending you out a deal, obviously they don't have a buyer yet for their deal. So you're providing the buyer to their property, and they have the property. You just be the real estate matchmaker, you know, for that deal. So I would partner with other wholesalers in the deal.
Okay.
And,
So so you find other wholesalers, other investors that have a deal that they're marketing, so what do you call them up and say, hey, I noticed you have a deal, and can I market your deal to my buyers, or what? What would you say to them?
yes. Well, yeah. I would definitely call them up, or I would try to, you know, take them out to lunch. You know, build a relationship, because relationships is key, and let them know what you're doing. Let them know, hey, you know, you got the deal. Hey, don't worry about the buyers. I will provide you the buyers for the deals. Just send me your deals. We will send out once the deals, you send me the deals, we'll fill out a simple form, like a flex option agreement, just saying, hey, if I find the deal, we can split the fee some type of way, or get some type of, I get some type of percentage in the deal. And you bring the buyer to the deal. You know, same applies. If they bring you the deal, go out to the live, you know, rehab sites, tell them you got a property, put out bandit signs that you got a property for sale. Even I did direct mail when I first started. I did a lot of direct mail to buyers. But if you don't have a budget, you might not be able to do that. But direct mail is a great source for getting buyers as well too.
Got it. Okay. And with direct mail, you would send it to who? Who you send it to get the buyers?
You said who would I send it to?
Yeah, to find the buyers. You
Yes.
use direct mail to find the buyers. I mean, I know the answer to these, but I want to make sure that the folks listening and
I understand. Yeah, so definitely, what you're doing, you're going to, if you don't have MLS access to in your marketplace, find an agent that can provide you all the cash comps within your hottest areas and zip codes. And what you're going to do, you're going to take those cash comps, and in the area, you can either drive to the property live and see if they're still rehabbing the property to find a buyer, or you can do a direct mail campaign to them. You can go to your assessment website of that property, and get the mailing address and the owner's name, which is the buyer. You probably see a LLC or a land trust or some type of corporation, and send them a direct mail postcard, or you can handwrite the letter. You know, if you're on a budget, handwrite the letter. That'd be a little cheaper with stamps and stuff like that, and let them know who you are, and you're the biggest wholesaler. You don't have to be the biggest wholesaler, but hey, just let them know you're a big wholesaler in your marketplace, and you have the best deals available. You just want your phone to ring and want them to call you back.
got it. Okay. And you know, you mentioned flex option. You know who invented flex option?
Mr. Tim Ma, right?
So what are your goals for 2012?
Oh, 2012 is going to be big, Tim. I actually looking at a couple commercial properties. I want to co-sell some commercial properties this year. I want to get in to that niche. I'm doing some virtual stuff right now. I have some students in other states outside of Virginia, so I'm doing stuff virtually as well. Also, I have a big launch, which I don't want to say exactly what it is yet, but I have a big launch coming out online, which is going to be big as well this year. And also, just everybody wants to make more money.
Well, make more money, help more people.
Help more people, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
awesome.
definitely.
Okay, and so what, what would you say was your goals for 2012? What would you say might be the thing that would slow you down or hold you back from that?
From the goals?
From achieving that goal.
Only thing that can hold me back and slow me down is myself, or, I knock on wood, is my health. That's only two things I can think of. Of course, I'm a believer of God, so those three things, myself, God, or my health, three things. Well, but myself, I'm not going to hold myself back, so we dumb it down to two right now, either my health or God.
Got it. Well, we'll be praying for you, so you'll be in good shape.
Right.
Awesome. And so, what would you say is your biggest secret to success? Like your personal secret to success?
That's a great question, Tim. You just got to take action. You can't procrastinate. I mean, I notice, I'm around a lot of successful people, and I don't, maybe you can answer, agree to this or not, but it seems like every successful person I know, they have some type of sense of urgency in their life. They do it. They don't even think about it, and they just do it and take action. Most people today, they think about it and then they say they'll do it. Then a week, 2 weeks pass, a month pass, and they never done it, and then it just fades away. Once you get an idea, just implement it as soon as possible. Take it to action, and if you make a mistake, that's good. Get back up and you learn from it, and you just keep moving. Just take action. That's my biggest secret. Just taking action with a sense of urgency.
Right. So, I mean, but what about, there's a couple of things that hold people back from taking action. Well, number one, fear is a big one, right?
Right.
Fear of taking action, and second one is just motivation to take action. So,
Right.
how do you address those?
That you probably have to be around like-minded people, and not probably, you have to be around positive people. I'm in the middle of reading a book by Tyrese Gibson. It's called Get Out Your Own Way. That's a highly recommended book too, Tim. It's called Get Out Your Own Way by Tyrese Gibson, and he talks about how he grew up and stuff like that, and he didn't come around the best background, growing up, but he had to get out his own way because how he was taught really wasn't, to him in his way, it wasn't the right way until he started being around these positive people that he realized, hey, all this time I was around negativity, dysfunctional people, but I didn't realize it until I got a mentor and he started putting me around these positive aspects and people, and that's when his mind changed. So you have to be around positive people and like-minded people, or whatever niche you want to pursue. So I think that's the key thing as well.
God, yeah, totally agree with you. It's like, and I noticed it happened to me, right? So I've been working from home for the last, I guess, 4.5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And, working from home, I start to disconnect myself from the world, right? So I
Right.
start to,
Right.
I stop, networking as much. I stop, some of my travels. And so I became more and more absorbed into my own mind. I call it the, what did I call it? Oh, who cares? It doesn't matter. But yeah. So like, I isolated myself. So I start to beat myself up. Like, so like, I start
Right.
to recall all the mistakes I've made and all kinds of stuff. And I mean, it wasn't until I catch what was going on,
Mm-hmm.
and then get myself out of that and go and meet with people, network people, and talk to
Right.
people, and surround myself with people again that help me get out of that. So I totally get
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah, and that is so true because how I grew up, and I'm still battling with this myself. I'm a loner, so it's like I have to consciously tell myself, Antonio, you need to get out there, network more. And every time I do it, it just nothing but great things happen.
Right.
Get out there and meet people, interact with people, be sociable, talk, open up your mouth, and things like that. So you definitely got to do that and spread the word, and don't be afraid to let everybody know what you do. Be
Right.
very, very confident in what you do, and definitely the positive things will come behind it.
Right. Yeah. And I'll give an example of just recently. I decided to go to a real estate meeting. I haven't been to a real estate investing meeting in a long time, so I
Right.
decided to go. And then there I met a friend. I met an investor friend from when I first got started years ago, and
Hmm.
she's doing some phenomenal stuff. And she's doing a lot of commercial wholesaling and apartment wholesaling and buying and hold. And so she introduced and she brought with her the guy that has all the connections to the banks, and she'd been buying a bunch of properties just from him.
Wow.
And she said, Tim, you gotta meet this guy. He has so many properties, I can't buy them all. So I was like, oh, awesome, right? So it's just like getting out there, go to meeting. Now I have a contact for a guy to have access to the banks to get me pretty much, as many commercial deals as I can handle. So
Wow.
it's pretty cool. So definitely, highly recommend for you to go out there, go to meeting, go to other, investment meetings, entrepreneur meeting. Yeah,
Hmm.
be around like-minded people for sure.
That is so true, man. And that is probably the key. Other than taking action, of course, but you have to be around these positive people because it does motivate. You could be down and discouraged, and once you get around these people, you just uplifted it all over again.
Right. Especially, yeah, when you
Yeah.
go there and you hear somebody and their success story and you're like you get inspired, right? You're like it's
Right.
like wow. Like, man, if that person can do it, I can do it, right?
Right.
Yeah, I love that. And that's what this whole meeting, I mean, that's what this whole interview thing is about. Is
Right.
is to to inspire the folks that are watching this to it's
Hmm.
like, man, if Antonio can do it, I can do it, right?
Right. Right. That's
So
so true, man. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
awesome. So I know you have a lot of stuff going on, and I'm sure by now, a
Hmm.
lot of people are interested to learn more about you and check you out. Do you have a website that you want to give out to them, your Facebook, or any way to contact you that you want to give out?
Sure. Yeah, they can visit my blog at antoniohitman.com. And that's Antonio Hitman, HITMAN.com. Or they can email me if they want at prolificmentor@gmail.com. They have like a quick question or something like that. My Facebook, just type in Antonio Edwards. That there you go.
So how did you get this Hitman name?
My mentor gave it to me.
Okay.
When I started doing it, I was when I went after my first deal, Tim. It was just like no holds barred. I was just man, I was 1,000 miles per hour, man, and I was just doing deal after deal. My first year, I think I did about 26, 27 deals my first year in real estate. And I guess starting out, that's pretty good. First starting out, some people don't even get to 5 to 10 deals on their first year. So, and he just like, man, I'm gonna start calling you the hitman, the assignment. So,
Are you still in contact with your mentor?
yes, yes, I am. Yes.
Do you have a do Napoleon Hill calls it the mastermind group, right? The
Hmm.
mastermind alliance. So do you have a network of investors that you network with on a regular basis and and hold each other accountable and share ideas or anything?
That is very important. Yes, I do. All of us are we're in our own markets. Actually, this year we're setting up a neutral place for all of us to meet up for a couple of days. We're thinking about Vegas.
Good idea.
Yeah, but we're thinking about Vegas, and we're all going to meet there and just share ideas and just pick each other's brains and all so we can help each other scale our business. So I'm sure you know a couple of them yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, accountability partners and masterminds is very key. That is another key thing. You like again, you're around like-minded people and positive people, so you got to keep yourself around that.
Right, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually belong to several of them, and yeah, I mean, you can't help but you can't help but do well when you're around guys who are all doing over
Right,
$1 million a year in business, and
right,
it's like even if you don't want to do well, you force yourself to do well because otherwise you when you show up and you don't do what you don't you're not growing like it
right,
doesn't look so good. You're like, damn, everyone else is growing.
right. So yeah, that is like it's like cheating, because you're around these like-minded people, and you just say I like to surround myself around people that's already light years ahead of me, because it makes me it just helps me to speed up my pace more. It's like man, like you said, if they can do it and they've been there and done that, I can do it too, and it's inspiration.
Right, awesome. Well, Antonio, man, it was an awesome interview. I enjoyed it a lot. I learned a lot about what you do, what's making money, your success, your mindset and principle as well. So I really appreciate it. I'm sure that the folks watching this or listening in also appreciate you greatly as well. Thank you so much for doing this interview with us.
My pleasure, Tim. Have a good one, buddy.
All right, awesome. Have a good one.
All
All right,
right.
bye, Antonio. Bye, everybody.
All right.